Swisher from Content Rules. How you doing, Val?
I'm doing great.
So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. You have a new book, Global Content Strategy, a primer, and like this is like brands. I can still feel that it's warm from being off the presses, right?
It's still inky.
It's still inky.
It's inky.
I'm going to smear it if I
Don't
touch
smear.
it too much. But so why did you write this book?
That's a good question. It's very interesting. I've been in the content world for 20 years, and the past 5 to 7 years, I've noticed that global content has taken on more and more and more importance. And we're producing more and more and more global content. And we're just sort of throwing it out there. Oh, we're just going to send this to translation and send that over to China. And there has not been a strategy, a plan around global content. And it dawned on me that people don't really know where to begin. They don't understand the issues, and they don't know how to approach it. People in localization and translation understand their world really well. People in content development understand their world really
But there's
well.
a delta between those two, right?
It's the silos. So I wrote this book. It's a primer. This is not a step-by-step book. That one's in my head. That one's coming. But this is a primer. These are the topics and the issues that you need to think about, that you need to know about, and it's really appropriate for everyone. Because in the content creation world, people don't understand topics like translation memory. What is that? Why is that important? In the localization world, they may not understand global readiness for source English. We talk about English because that's the language where I am right now.
Yeah.
But they may not understand all the different things that the content creation community can do to make their jobs better and make their output of a higher quality. So it's both.
And because of those silos, like you said, folks are so focused solely on their jobs and not realizing that that the job that they do either helps or hinders the other folks that they're working with. Their job is actually to work better and to make sure that what they're doing is compatible with the other folks that are on their team, right?
Yep. And it's all about the customer experience. At the end of the day, it's the life cycle from the very first character typed on your keyboard to the person who's across the world, halfway around the world, who's consuming that content in some way, shape, or form. We need to be aware of and care about the very beginning and the very, very end. So it's always very interesting because content creation groups seem to think that when they're done, they check into the CMS and they click publish and they're done. I'm done. And then the translation people are just beginning.
And they have to deal with solving that problem.
And they have a huge process to deal with, and they're dealing with 4, 8, 12, 18, 36, 84, 127 languages.
And you're not making these numbers up. You
Oh,
you
no.
know that you've seen folks that have been dealing with that many languages.
Oh, yes.
So what I'm interested in, going back to the customer experience, as we wrap up here, is how is the customer experience, or how should we pay attention and handle the customer experience differently, if at all, on the global side versus if we were doing it within our own, in the U.S. in our own language?
I think it's a great question, and I think that everyone who's involved with content, creating content in some way, needs to think about the final target person who's consuming it, because it's going to cause us to do things differently. We will write differently. We will put in different illustrations. We will use different symbolism.
This is not just about translation.
No.
It's not just about taking something and translating into the other language. Content takes so many forms and sort of triggers so many places emotionally and right?
Even just thinking about what medium do I want to use for this content? What is the best? Video is very, very popular now, which is fabulous. I love video. I work with a lot of customers that say, well, we're in 19 languages. What are we going to do? Are we going to overdub it? Are we going to put subtitles in it? Can we translate the experience of a video? Because we're creating more of an experience with video than with text. What do we do with that in 19 languages, in different cultures? And it's a problem that we're solving and technology is helping, but we need to formulate that end user persona, if you will.
And keep it pasted on the walls of all the different departments that are touching that content so that they remember who they're producing it for.
Exactly. And then we'll have better customer experience worldwide.
That's awesome. Again, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You picked purple.
I love purple.
Global Content Strategy, a primer, Val Swisher, my good friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.